and fade. All right. Welcome to the Market Messiah movement. Now, I want to share a few inspirational things today. So the first one being the reason why you don't need to be a marketer to do great marketing anymore. So let's read this. This is an email that I got today, and it's from a guy, a marketing guy, and basically he's talking about Claude, particularly this app AI thing called Claude Bot. And he's just talking about how these Claude bots that these AI agents are able to do all of these different marketing tasks for you, things that used to take a lot of time and specialty to be able to create. These AI agents are creating for you. Audit your site's SEO and fix issues, write and schedule full email sequence, build landing pages, set up and manage Google Ads, run conversion rate optimization analysis, generate programmatic SEO pages at scale. So the thing is that all of these difficult things, the things that used to be really difficult about marketing tactically, or even about building websites, coding, all that stuff is going away. So that means for you is that you don't need to know all these really tactical marketing kinds of things. You don't need to know so much how to use the apps anymore. You need to know how to set up the systems. You don't even really need to know how to write copy. Honestly, AI writes amazing copy. It writes copy, like at least 90% of the way there to just being amazing. It writes hooks, body copy, calls to action. Like all you got to do is put in a bit of context about what you're actually promoting for calls to action. You just tell Claude what your post is about and he'll create a hook. They'll create a hook. So whatever that is, whenever it comes to marketing, the tactical side, AI and AI agents are being able to take care of that for you. So really that leaves the question of, okay, so what is it that you need to get good at? And really it's about your message and how you're approaching things differently. And it's really about thinking differently about marketing. So when everything was tactical, and what's been happening up to this point is marketers and marketing competing on being the best. So saying things like they're the best, like they have the most testimonials, they have the most experience, they're able to do things faster, or they're the cheapest, or they have the most bonuses with their program. And they're competing on these kinds of tactical kinds of levels and relying on the fact that, hey, if you have a really nice looking funnel, if you have really nice design, then that's going to make you seem legit. But everyone has these things these days. Everyone can build a nice funnel. Everyone can have nice branding. Everyone can write great copy. But if everyone can do that, then it's all competing against I'm better. So the way that we want to cut through the noise, the way that we want to approach people differently is to become what we call the market's messiah. So the market messiah, so the way that we think about marketing and approaching prospects is different. It's the difference between the car salesman tactics, I'm better, faster, whatever, to a diagnostic doctor kind of approach. So we actually want to we actually want to diagnose somebody's problems. When somebody lands on our page or they, talk to us for the first time, we want to help them understand the reasons why the things that they've been trying haven't been working. We help them understand the problem, not just saying, hey, I can solve it. It's, hey, here's what's going on. And then we want to explain what is our unique approach to solving that problem. We call this your big idea. And then we want to go into what is our unique methodology behind that, not being generic and surface level, but really digging into what is our different systems and what are our pillars and processes to helping somebody get results. But it goes into this doctor frame. That is how we can really differentiate and to see where everyone else is saying, hey, look at me, I'm the best. We're coming in with really a non-competitive kind of mindset, a mindset that just makes us the most logical choice to want to work with, because we're helping to explain why these other things that they've tried haven't worked, eliminating competition. We're giving our unique approach, our unique big idea to solving this problem, thus further eliminating competition and helping somebody see things through a different lens, through our lens, and then ultimately giving our unique methodology, our unique way of solving problems that is addressing the specific roadblocks that people are going through and how our program specifically solves those roadblocks. So this is also what I just described here is what we call our sales narrative. Okay, it consists of our root cause, our big idea, and our unique mechanism. Do you say root or root, by the way? So Dave, you know, the other half of the Market Messiah marketing team here, he always gives me shit for saying root, but that's how I learned it. I learned it as root. Apparently most of the world says root. I don't know. How do you say it? Root or root? So anyway, this is our sales narrative, our root cause, our big idea, and our unique mechanism. So though that is how we can frame our marketing and frame our message in a way that's different and cuts through the noise compared to what 99.9% of marketers out there are doing. Okay, that's the mindset shift. Car salesman to the doctor. So let's bring up the next item on the agenda. I've got to remember to switch from screen to screen here. So let's bring up something related to this. So I want to share a post that I saw on LinkedIn that's basically a perfect example of everyone competing for I'm the best and just like really where getting to this place where you should never need to be in marketing in the first place. And like what I'm going to show you, this is the normal mindset of marketing and marketers. Like this is the normie. We're fighting. It's a whole red ocean out there. We're fighting for scraps. You know, like just a super competitive environment that we can just completely bypass and ignore and not even have to get to the depths of this level here. So let me show you this right here. Now, this, by the way, just for everyone watching this whole episode here, this is my my journal. So nightly, I have a new tab where I'm creating, I'm putting down content basically for like my ideas for the day, and I'm kind of doing a brainstorm for the next day's show, but then I'm also just writing down any ideas that are coming to mind, like in a journal fashion. So a lot of the stuff that goes into my content every day, that goes into the show every day, it's coming from my journal here, because I'm constantly writing down ideas. And if I get an idea during the day, like say just a video that I watch or an idea that pops into my head, then I'll go into that day's journal entry and I'll type that down, and then, you know, write down whatever else comes to mind about it. So that way, when I'm doing the show the next day or just want to write a post or whatever, I've got this whole content bank. Like I've probably only used 20% of the ideas that are in these document tabs here. Okay, so let's talk about this post right here, because really it's a perfect example of the car salesman tactics that are present in 99% of marketing. But it's really the car salesman mentality, where we're fighting for scraps. We're needing to follow up with people. We need to bother people. We need to convince somebody why we're better. And it's just the whole idea and basis behind this post is just in that complete camp of being the car salesman as opposed to being the market messiah. So here it goes. You should never, never, never circle back or touch base. So when you leave a sales call, it's simple. You should say something like, I'm a sucker for the next step. What do you want to do? And if I don't hear from you, what should I do then? Typically they'll say, let's arrange a time. Chase me, follow up. Then when you call back, John, just as promised, I've got a note to speak with you today. There are many other variations of this. So the whole idea here is that rather than saying, hey, like, let's circle back sometime, and then going and chasing someone, he's saying that you really want to create a clear plan on what you should do to follow up with somebody. But the thing is, if you're operating like a market messiah, if you're operating in it from a doctor frame, you should never get to a point where you need to circle back or follow up with anyone, because by the end of that call, they're asking you, what's the next step? How can you help me? That's what should be happening at the end of any kind of coffee chat or sales call that you have. It's either what's the next step or a yes or no to buying from you. Like that's what happens when your sales process is in the doctor mode, in the market messiah type of operating system. And the way that that happens is even before someone gets on a call with you, they should be pre-sold, meaning that they should already know what you do, how you can help them, what the value is that you offer to some extent. And really that call is just a matter of getting to know each other to ask more questions. So what we do to when we're leading up to a chat is really the initial outreach. Even from the get-go, the initial outreach is diagnostic. And we're offering value about ways that they can improve or suggestions on how to do something, and then offering more value as a next step. So I'll send out a personalized DM to someone, for example, packed with some kind of suggestions personalized to them. And then the next step isn't a call. The next step is a video critique of their site or some copy that they have. So I'm going further to make this video and send it to them and ask what they think. Then after they've seen this initial outreach, which many people, probably 35%, whatever, 30%, they already ask just to get on a call just from that. But then once I send this video too, with all of my ideas where I'm in person, then they're really pre-sold. They already know what I do. They know how I think. So then the next step from there, once they like that, is to actually get on this coffee chat call, which again, isn't a sales call. It's a diagnostic call. It's where I'm asking more about their business, what their goals are, where their roadblocks are. I'm asking what they've tried, what has worked, what hasn't worked. And so I'm asking all these questions. And by the time the end of this call, this happens 100% of the time. 100% of the time, somebody asks, what do you do? So how can you help me? What is it exactly that you do? How can you help? And then I tell them, and I don't tell them, I don't sell them on something. Then I say, well, I want to take some time to think about it. Think about exactly what I can do to help you. Let's book another call next week. And then I'll send you another video in a few days with some ideas about our messaging, the way that we think. And I can tell you what I'm thinking of how we can help you. That's the way it goes every single time. I never have to sell anything. You shouldn't have to, because people should come to your calls pre-sold, knowing what you do, how you do it, already liking you, already understanding your philosophy, your big idea. And it's like that. So you should never be in this situation at all when you're having to fight like this, where you have to come up with some quirky things about, oh, I'm a sucker for a next call. If I don't hear from you, what should I do? You never need to get to that place. Okay. Okay. We're at 13 minutes here. Good stuff. So let's do one more thing here. So what I want to do now, is read from the Bible. So this is our agency's messaging Bible. And when I say that is, whenever we work with clients, we create for them their messaging Bible, which is the foundation and the blueprints of all the copy that they're creating. It is your unique messaging that takes you from the car salesman mode into doctor frame mode, into being your market's messiah, so that everything that you create is steeped in unique and compelling messaging that cuts through the noise and that speaks to and attracts sophisticated buyers that have intent to actually want to work with you rather than those tire kickers. So I'm going to read from our messaging Bible. Now, this is a long, about 100-page document, but I want to just share what our root cause idea is, which is the real reason why most marketers are having problems getting their stuff sold, getting attention from the right people, and basically breaking through the noise and attracting clients. So I want to read this for you so that you understand that. So root cause, the root cause, market burnout, root cause definition. So market burnout is the accumulated market-wide breakdown that occurs when an explosion of competitors, most of them unqualified, using identical tactics and making identical promises has so thoroughly exhausted sophisticated buyers that they've completely opted out of traditional marketing channels, leaving everyone fighting for an increasingly commoditized pool of unsophisticated buyers, while the most valuable clients become effectively unreachable through conventional means. And here's what makes this root cause so insidious. It's not happening to you, it's happening to the entire market. And the very tactics you're being told to use, the funnels, the bonus stacking, the irresistible offers, the content machines, they're all the same tactics that created the burnout in the first place. Every time you deploy them, you're not differentiating yourself. You're adding to the noise that's driving sophisticated buyers further away. So the main idea here is that so many, it's like what we talked about at the very beginning of this episode, the thing that's happening is that since everyone has access and the ability to create and use marketing tactics when it comes to funnels and writing copy, the market is burned out because they're bombarded by messages and they're bombarded by people saying the same thing in slightly differentiated and generic kinds of ways. And there's a lot of people that have believed that marketing and they've been lied to and they've been burned because of marketing like that. So now they've completely opted out. The prospects, the best prospects they've burnt out, because the best prospects are the ones that have invested. They're the ones that like to invest in things and in themselves, but they've already invested and they got burned and they've completely opted out of traditional marketing, meaning that now they're only buying from people that they know, people that they get recommended to. They're talking to their friends. So that market, those people, those sophisticated buyers that we want to attract because they invest, because they're closest to a buying decision, we want to reach them, but we can't do it with traditional marketing means. We can't do it with tactical means. We have to do it from the lens from being a market messiah, which means that we are the doctor. Rather than the car salesman tactics, we have the doctor frame where we're diagnosing, prescribing our unique approach to solving those problems and really articulating our methodology. So that's the approach we need to take. That's how we overcome market burnout. Yeah, that's the whole big idea here. So big idea. So marketing is easy for everyone. Everyone can do marketing. Everyone can do tactical things like funnel building and copywriting. And that's why the market is so burned out, because everyone's bombarded by generic and mediocre messaging. So really the only way that you can cut through is to take a different approach. You need to think differently than everyone else in the market. And that's what being the market messiah is. And it comes down to you. It comes down to your ideas, to your personality, to sharing what you believe, telling your stories, like the things that only you can do. Those are the things that matter more, that matter now more than ever. Creating content that's really just speaking to you and the way that you think and the way that you feel. That's what's going to break through, because nobody else is doing that, because everyone has gotten, it's not that everyone has gotten lazy, but really the market has just expanded. So many people have entered the world of marketing because it's become so easy. So the people that were working hard are still working hard, but now we need to think differently because marketing tactics are so accessible. So we have to go back to really the only thing that differentiates us, which is our ideas and our unique perspective and us sharing what we really care about, but doing it in a way that cuts, that isn't generic or fluffy, but in a way that sells what we do. And we're selling our differentiation, but not in a tactical way, but in a way of our message and in our movement. So that's, this is a great opportunity. The opportunity is that where everyone else is using tactical things, you don't have to learn marketing tactics. You don't have to learn how to build a funnel. You don't have to learn how to write great copy. You just have to learn how to bring out your core message. You have to learn how to share what you do, and be authentic and unique about it. And that's, of course, something that we can help you with. That's what we do best, is helping our clients bring out their unique and compelling message in a way that they can inject that into all of their marketing, talk to the best types of dream clients and get them Get their attention, get them wanting to talk to you and buy from you, get them pre-sold. So you're not having to sell on calls, so that people just naturally know who you are, see you as an authority. That's being the market messiah. See, all these things come together. Everything that I'm talking to you about right now, this is messaging. This is messaging. All these ideas, this is straight from this messaging Bible right here. So yeah, I think you get the idea. Man, I got to remember to move these screens here. Okay, that's it for now. Wow, tomorrow's Friday. Can't wait. Good night.